Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. And for today, I wanted to focus on Hangouts, right? Hangouts, which is having probably one of the slowest deaths in Google's history of killing an application. Now, basically, Hangouts, gosh, I remember when Hangouts first came out, like when you first heard about Hangouts, it literally was Google Plus chat that was transformed into a messaging service, but also at the same time too, it supported carrier SMS, and then they integrated Google Voice SMS into it, and it was the default messenger on the Nexus 5, and so it's gone through its ups and downs, and I'm quite intrigued by a lot of people's opinions about how they're against the whole death of Hangouts and that they want Hangouts to be around. You know, it's crazy because before Google even thought of killing Hangouts, a lot of people were like, it's too ugly, it's not usable, I don't use it, I prefer Go SMS, I prefer something else, this, that, and the third. It always came down to that. So I was always like, wow, if people keep voicing their opinions like this, eventually Google's just going to be like, I'm going to kill it. And sure enough, Google did. I mean, when you kind of think about it, they tried to replace it with Allo, which Allo was pretty much the same thing that Hangouts was or is. And yeah, that wasn't a very good look, and Allo really didn't gravitate towards people, and Allo was a great messaging service from Google, but just a lot of people didn't gravitate to it because of that issue that Google has of killing apps and services. Why would anyone want to invest time into moving into a new service like Allo and then, invite their friends to join in only to find out that it's going to be killed off, which eventually Allo was killed off in favor of Hangouts. And I always thought to myself, like, um, why did Google even remotely do Allo in the first place? I mean, Duo, yeah, Duo's fine. A lot of people are finding to join Duo because it's more simplified, and the video calling just works better than what Hangouts does. I always felt like they should have, like, after Duo came out, they should have removed the video chat option in Hangouts, completely remove it, integrate Duo with it, like how they integrated Duo with the dialer on Android smartphones, and just have it that way, and leave Hangouts as a messaging service for Google Android users to use. I never understood that. Like there's so much missed opportunities by Google, and it's like, I mean, sure, it's easy for us to go ahead and say what we think, and think that we're better off running the company or running these divisions in Google to make something and create something that consumers would like. But I'm sure they have somewhat of a good reason on why they do things that we really can't say unless we're like part of the development team there. Then we'll have the insight on it. But Hangouts basically could have been the all-in-one messenger that Android needed, and I say this in a lot of my video that coverage covers Hangouts, the coverage that I've been doing on it. I always say that because it potentially did have the ability to be the all-in-one messenger that a lot of people were looking for. I mean, Hangouts could quite do a lot of things. You can actually have just integrated your number into Hangouts and take phone calls and text messages through Hangouts. You could do that with Google Voice, and still you could do that with Google Voice. And even though the Google Voice app now supports basically the ability to do phone calls from it and SMS natively from the Google Voice application, it still seems far better to do it in Hangouts than it does within the Google Voice app. I would definitely love for carrier SMS to come back to it, but obviously Google plans to completely kill it out. And it's crazy how they're going to do it because again, they're still talking about it. They're going to phase out Classic Hangouts is what they're calling it. They're going to phase that out and then open up Hangouts Chat and Hangouts Meet, which are two separate applications, one dedicated for chat, one dedicated for video calling, conferencing calls, stuff like that. And it's just kind of crazy. Just like, wow, you guys are really gonna go that route with it. Like, why even do that? Like I said, I think the best and most sensible option here would actually just be to take out video calling from Hangouts itself and integrate Duo into it to where when you press the video chat icon, it launches Duo rather than it launches Hangouts. Um, Leave Hangouts as it is and bring back carrier SMS support and let it be the all-in-one messaging app for Android, and finally give us that. I mean, as far as the user interface, that's easy to redo and reprogram. It doesn't take a lot to do that. It takes a lot of time and effort to come up with something that's pleasing on the eyes. And you know what? People will wait. They will wait, months for an app to be to have its interface redone and remapped and everything. Like people will wait for that. I think that the problem with the Hangouts team was that they have a deaf ear to the customers. I mean, the whole time when people were complaining about how Hangouts was and whatnot, it was just more of a thing of like people were just like wanting something new, something refreshed. Like when Android messages, allowed you to multicolor different threads, which is something that I thought was stupid that they took out of Android messages. Um, People enjoyed that. They loved that. And that's a very simple thing to do. Just like, oh yeah, my messaging thread with my mom is going to be purple, and my dad is going to be orange, and my girlfriend's going to be pink, and my best friend is going to be gray. Like, you could set the color of the threads and know who you're messaging on Android messages, and they could have easily implemented that into Hangouts. As they would implement Duo into Hangouts and get rid of the native video calling in Hangouts. Because the native video calling in Hangouts was trash. It really was. I don't know what was up with that. You could be on Wi-Fi and you would still have constant freezes and pixelation pauses during your video calling. It was just real horrible. Duo was the answer for video calling for Android, and that's why I really say, like, the Hangouts team should just really start listening to people. Like, there's people that don't want Hangouts to go away. They already killed out Hangouts on Air, which was kind of annoying that they did that. I mean, Hangouts on Air was actually pretty good and a very useful platform for YouTube live streaming with simulcasting with guests and friends, and they totally put that off. And so, yeah, it's like, they want to get rid of classic Hangouts, but like, why? Like, why do you want to do that, Google? Like, come on now. You've killed off a lot of apps and services. Like, leave us this one thing and just redo it. Go back to the drawing board with a team of developers that have great minds and come up with, a new user interface to it, Don't leave it green. I mean, like, most people were complaining that it was too greeny, it was too greenish. Like, then, give some flavor to it, give it some color, make it pop more, update the stickers on that thing. Like, we've had these stickers, like the emoji stickers, the alien stickers, and all those different stickers for so long now. It's time for a new thing. Like, all the new stickers that we got in Allo, they should have like pushed into Hangouts, definitely. And then bring in something more, refresh and robust. Give us something, a little bit better. Give us some animations within the thread just to kind of liven it up a little bit. Like, a lot of messaging threads are a little dull and plain nowadays. Um, do that. Like, what I would do if I could design the whole thing. Like, when you're looking at the chat messaging thread, um, the bubble icon, right? Like, like the like right over the user's name or whatever. Like, I would make some form of animation with that to like show that the person is typing or reading, you know. That would be kind of cool, right? And then when they post, have a different like animation on that thing. So, it just livens things up. Like, sometimes the smallest details go the longest ways, and I feel that when it comes to Hangouts, like, there's so much missed opportunities, and I just feel like that Google is just straight out idiotic for just saying, okay, you know what, we're gonna kill this in favor of these two other applications that we created that are for enterprise use for G Suite users. That's basically business. You're gonna open up a business tool for everyday consumers. It just doesn't make sense. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section of the video. Drop a like if you enjoyed today's video as well. We really appreciate that. And if you're a big fan of Hangouts, tell me why. Tell me why you like it. And do you like it the way it is right now? Would you want a completely new user interface? Like, you could do all that in the comment section of the video. Give me your perfect look of Hangouts and paint a picture for all of us in words. We really appreciate that. And if you just subscribed, thanks so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that as well. And yeah, that's it for now, guys. I'm signing out for today. Thanks so much for checking out this video. As always, aloha.